Hull City, on the other hand, have gone for changes in Dishon Bernard having to drop out through suspension. There was questions of whether a youngster, particularly Jevon Mills, would get the opportunity tonight. He can only find a place on the bench as Elder, Greaves and McLaughlin make up a back three for the Tigers, with Elder sliding more centrally. Ryan Longman, Keane Lewis-Potter remain wing backs, with Smallwood, Doherty and Honeyman as a midfield three. Malik Wilkes and Josh McGuinness complete the starting 11 for the Tigers. The subs for both teams are Phillips, Morrison, Rawls, Collins, Colwell, Harrison, Brown for Cardiff. And for the Tigers, Matt Ingram, Jevon Mills, Andy Cannon, George Moncur, Randell Williams and Tom Huddleston. And Smallwood in between McLaughlin and Greaves, 20 yards from his own goal line. Spreads the ball across to Greaves. He will try and play a pretty ambitious through ball, looking for Keane Lewis-Potter. But with an attack-minded midfield five, Hull City could really pin back the back three of Cardiff. They're trying to do so here as Keane Lewis-Potter serves up across into the box for McGuinness to try and get his head onto. And a decent spot of defending by Mark McGuinness inside the penalty area. A good 8 yards out. He got the contact to divert it away from goal. And Hull City get the first corner of the evening, just 90 seconds gone. And it's up to Hull City through Honeyman to try and get the ball into the penalty area. Tried to deliver Honeyman, but it dropped too shy of the penalty area. And now Cardiff look to sprint away with Davis, and he's looking to try and twist and turn his way past Elder. He looks to get towards the penalty area. One touch too many. Had to do all of the work himself, but Hull City ganged up on him and were able to get back and stop him from scoring what would have been a marvellous solo goal. It was rather noisy, an atmosphere, adrenaline pumping pre-match, but during the game Cardiff City fans have been pretty quiet, and Hull City's small travelling army of faithful are doing their best to try and motivate their side on and make themselves be heard. George Honeyman is over it, but the referee Tom Bramall is just having a very close inspection of where Honeyman has placed the ball. Asks him to move it back a couple of centimetres. And Honeyman will deliver towards the front post. It's a free header and into the net for Hull City. It's Keane Lewis-Potter who leads the celebrations away to my left-hand side. And that small following of travelling faithful are the ones up on their feet in delight. Keane Lewis-Potter, with a huge beaming grin on his face, is congratulated by McGuinness and every other outfield player for the Tigers. George Honeyman's cross into the penalty area. A free header for Longman, and then Keane Lewis-Potter in the 6-yard box was just in the right place to make a connection. He actually got his head to the ball. There was 5 or 6 in blue shirts around him. This tall, physical team of Cardiff let one of the smallest men on the pitch sneak in and get a valuable touch to put Hull City 1-0 up as we tick past 15 minutes. Giving the ball a very good dry over on that far side. Will Volks sends it flying into the penalty, and it takes a bounce. It's gone into the net, but I don't think it touched anybody on the way through, and that will be a goal kick. Volks' throw-in went straight through. Mark McGuinness doesn't seem too happy about the decision. You don't see that every day in football. Did McGuinness get a touch to the long throw-in? Volks sent it in really high. There was 5 men there to meet it. 1 in blue, 4 in black and amber on the halfway line. There's Marlon Pack with Perry Ng to his right-hand side, but he tries to slide it through towards Will Volks, and now crossed delightfully from Aidan Flint. You don't normally see the centre-halves whipping the ball in with curve. Giles will now try and deliver again. Flint then gets into the penalty area, and there's a few appeals for a penalty as Keith Amor went to ground. It's only going to be a corner for Cardiff. And the referee Tom Bramall was uninterested as Flint flew in. George Honeyman is the only man in the wall for the Tigers, and then every other man in black and amber stands on the 18-yard line, with the exception of Wilkes. He's a couple of yards further back, as Cardiff have got 6 men in blue scattered on that 18-yard line in a muddled pattern. And Cardiff will look to chip it into the area with Ryan Giles, who found McGuinness with the header. Drops down very safely into the clutches of Baxter, who just stands up and has a look on his face as if say, if that's all I'm going to get tonight, it's going to be a very easy evening. But he's got his defence to thank for how tonight has gone so far. They've been incredibly stubborn and already barking the orders alongside McGuinness. Opportunity for Cardiff to swing the ball in with Perry NG, and he's delivered towards the 6-yard line, 8 yards out when the contact was made. And Cardiff got a free header through Mark McGuinness, and Baxter in the end makes the save. So that's the opportunity that Cardiff City will be looking for as the game goes on. So Hull City know they've got a good outlet man at the back in Huddleston if the ball is on the deck. He can spray the ball wherever he wants, and that will help settle Hull City in terms of getting that ball and maybe building better. That's the only disappointment from the first 45. Hull City did not really create much at all. Cardiff into the penalty area with Ryan Giles looking for his 9th assist of the season. He almost connected with Keith Moore. It could come in from the opposite side. Cross comes in and Bakuna heads it wide of the goal. Didn't get the connection he wanted at all. That's a big let-off though for Hull City. Not once but twice their defence was stretched, and Cardiff will feel they should have equalised. Ryan Giles with the first one. Keith Moore slid in and the ball actually went above him over his chest. He then tried to get involved with the second attempt, but Bakuna got there first. Joe Rawls from the halfway line tries to send the ball up towards Giles. He can keep it in play at the byline. Huddleston is able to get a touch and glance it away. Comes out to Honeyman, who's gone over to the near touchline, and the ball is played into the feet of Malik Wilkes on the halfway line. He held it up very nicely indeed. Keane Lewis Potter will try and move to the right to play the ball through. Hull City will get a free kick. Keane Lewis Potter, I think, is asking for a little bit more from the referee. Mark McGuinness, the centre half, looks as though he could be getting a yellow card, and he is. Hull City, I think I'm right in saying exactly a year ago today, when the Tigers won 3-0 at Portman Road against Ipswich. Former Arsenal youngster Richie Smallwood is the one over the free kick, which is halfway into the Cardiff half, and he drops it short towards Honeyman, who plays it to the back post for Jacob Greaves. Surely it must go in. Somehow it hasn't, as McGuinness, he could not have been more than 2 yards out. Couldn't make the connection he wanted, and it hits the post as Greaves headed it across. 2 hands around his chest, and the referee offers an advantage as Keane Lewis Potter with a nice little turn inside away from Giles plays it to Smallwood. Now Malik Wilkes hugging the touchline on the right hand side. Honeyman just inside him. Wilkes will play it to Doherty on the edge of the penalty area, just to the right of the D. Now to KLP, plays it to Wilkes, who's thinking about maybe taking this on himself. He's got a man in blue in front of him in Marlon Pack. It now falls to Keane Lewis Potter again. Honeyman, the Tigers searching for a little ball through. Honeyman will play it to Greaves, gets the ball just inside the box. He will play it to Honeyman. Now for Doherty, smart turn, plays it into the 6-yard box for McGuinness. He pulls it out of the 6-yard box, then takes a shot at goal. There's 3 in the way in blue. McGuinness somehow wins it back, tees up Jacob Greaves, who unfortunately has a pretty classic centre-half shot. It goes over the top of the crossbar. But how Hull City worked the ball so well in tight areas. McGuinness did exceptionally well as well. He took the shot on it, cannoned off McGuinness. Nelson just stood there waiting. And Hull City get back underway again. Long ball up towards Jacob Greaves. Colwell starting to really cast a spell in this game. Finds Giles. Rawls will take it on. 20 yards out, took the shot. Baxter with the biggest save of the evening for either keeper. Danger still looming. Colwell will try and keep the attack alive, and Greaves gets to the ball, clears it away to safety. Grant McCann barking the orders away and shaking his head. He's very unhappy. Cardiff trying to find that equaliser. as Giles steps around Longman, takes it up to the final third. Cross comes in, Baxter watches it all the way. That is a superb catch from the keeper. Ryan Giles finding space down this left-hand side now. Hull City need to tighten it up again. McGuinness was the one backtracking. The ball came in, searching for the head of Collins, but Baxter did very well to clutch it. Cardiff had 4 changes. And the reason for that was there was a concussion injury, I think, to Mark McGuinness. So Hull City, because of that, are allowed to make an extra change as well. Jevon Mills, with a big pat on the back by Grant McCann, introduced for a big debut. Honeyman is the man making way. Jevon Mills will come on. Honeyman making way. Gone for height, gone for someone who knows just how to nod the ball away at youth level, under 18s. Head boy of the Scholars, looking now to help drag his side to victory, and immediately comes on, starts barking towards Ryan Longman as the long throw comes in. And Jevon Mills immediately looks to get underneath it. His header found Collins and it hit the post. Goodness me, that was close. Jevon Mills' first touch of a ball as a professional player almost presented Cardiff with a stoppage time equaliser. The post is Hull City's friend. It's still 1-0 to the Tigers. Callum Elder on his feet behind the dugout as Hull City clear the ball away. Callum Elder must have had the concussion injury to allow Cardiff and Hull to have 4 substitutions. McLaughlin turns and gets rid of the ball. It has been a very good night for Hull City in the Welsh capital. The pictures I have in front of me show real celebration for the Hull City management and the players alike. Gritty, hard-working performance, and Hull City had to win it ugly in the end as Cardiff looked to bombard through the air, through crosses, long balls forward, and Hull City on a number of occasions shut the door on Cardiff's aerial presence. And one of the longest journeys that Hull City have this season will feel like the shortest, because they have burst Cardiff's new manager bubble and have won here by 1-0.